Alright guys, so I know I'm not the first person to unbox this. I promise I've been really excited about this, but I've just been waiting all day for this to arrive. I've been literally just looking outside my window waiting for the delivery guy to come out. But finally, the new MacBook Pro 14-inch is here, and it's got some really, really big upgrades from the last time I bought a MacBook. And, you know, the choice I went with here is a little bit more interesting. So I went with the absolute entry-level model MacBook Pro. That's because I want to see just how much power I really need. When I had the my current MacBook Pro is the top of the line I could get in 2018, and I really want to know, do I have to spend that much money again to get the same level of performance I've had, or can I get away with spending much less? And that's what I'm going to find out today with this MacBook Pro. So I'm going to go ahead and tear it open, and I have to say right off the bat, the box feels pretty heavy, so I'm expecting something big. And another thing I'm noticing here, the box actually looks pretty big for being a 14-inch laptop. So let me go ahead, lift up the box, and right here we got the MacBook front and center. Go ahead and pull this out. This is a silver MacBook, and right off the bat, this is heavy. Like, this is heavy. I want to say this is probably heavier than my 15-inch MacBook. Just from the design, it looks very different. On the inside, you get this amazing new USB-C to MagSafe connector. I'm very excited to try this out. And what else do you get? I did opt for the more powerful 90-watt, 96-watt power brick, which should be, which is what enables the fast charging. So if you go for the normal one, that does not enable fast charging, and the base level MacBook is the only one that doesn't come with a 96-watt standard. So it is only a $20 upgrade, so I really didn't mind. Just to get that fast charging, I thought it was worth it. I'm definitely going to try out what the fast charging is like. So I'm going to put the box to the side, because beyond these two things, there's not anything else in the box. You know what? I'll just look at the paperwork real quick, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on in here. Oh, look at that! There's black Apple stickers. That's so cool. I've never seen that. Oh my god, I'm so glad I checked. Black Apple stickers, very cool. Now I have to have this. Now it's a done deal. You know, everybody buy this because it comes with black stickers. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's look at the computer itself. And as I said, very, very thick, and this feels very much so like a older design MacBook than a brand new one, to be honest. It looks very similar to the MacBook Pros that came out, I want to say in the late 2000s, than it does a MacBook Pro of recent. So one thing right at the bottom, my lights are doing a little bit of a bad job, but you guys can see there's MacBook Pro stamped onto this metal, the aluminum backplate. 4 feet here that are pretty rugged, but not very rubbery, weirdly enough. They're not extremely rubbery. On the side, you've got the MagSafe. You've got 2 USB-Cs, headphone jack. On this side, you've got that SD card, the USB-C, and the HDMI. Love it. I love that Apple has backtracked and gone to more ports. I'm okay with it, you know, backtrack all the way, because it was a dumb decision to remove them. And even though most people have gotten used to USB-C, still having the option to have, you know, these ports on a Pro computer is very important. So let me open it up, and it's already booting up. So there is a piece of paper covering the screen. And right off the bat, immediately I could tell that mini LED display. It's so dark and black. It's incredible. While the screen loads up, let me talk about the keyboard. So the keyboard this year around is completely black. Even the between the keys, this usually was the same color as the frame. So if you got a space gray, it was space gray here. If you got a silver, it was silver. But this time it's completely black. I'm not sure why. I think maybe it just might be because it's easier to replace the keyboard assembly. I'm not sure. This is something very different. And right off the bat, I'm noticing the notch. And all right. So initially I was okay with the notch, but what I really thought that it was because the display goes all the way up to the edge. So it does go pretty far up to the edge, but there's still a decent bezel. I feel like they could have fit a camera up there if they tried hard enough. And it's not like this is like an amazing, like super high res. It's a 1080p camera. I'm sure they could have stuck it up there if they tried, but they went with this weird notch design. Now the thing is, I don't think it's going to be a problem because it's going to The taskbar sits there anyways, and you don't get this. But if you do go full screen in an app, you're gonna have that now. So the keys. Let me try the keys. Oh, these keys are really nice. Okay, I'm gonna set up, and I'm just gonna kind of blow through the setup as quickly as I can, and come back to you guys once it's done. Alright guys, so I set up the MacBook and I spent the last couple minutes playing around with it, and the thing is, all the things I'm excited about, I really can't show you guys on video too well. So one of the things I really found incredible about this was the screen. It's just unbelievably good. Like, I'm going to play this video. Of course, because it's a video, you're not going to be able to enjoy it as much as I was, but just this true black, the mini LED is just absolutely fantastic. The colors, the brightness, the contrast, it just blew my mind. It just looks absolutely incredible, and I'm honestly like, immediately, this is such a major upgrade, just the display, because that's what you look at all day. So having a display that looks that good, with those you know, deep blacks, it's an immediate like win-win for me. The 120 hertz. So I'm gonna go ahead, and since you guys really won't be able to tell much from this, it might just look like, yeah, this is the one I was really like, just look at these blacks and just the way this looks. It's incredible. Like, the camera's not gonna do it justice, I know, but I just wanted to, like, I couldn't resist not showing you guys how good it is. So the computer, otherwise, the 120 hertz. So now the 120 hertz is not something I've actually been able to immediately pick up. Like, I had to actively like scroll really fast to be like, oh yeah, now I see it. But that is just the way with the Mac OS. There's not as many animations going on, or like as many constant changes to the screen as there are when you're using an iPhone or a mobile device. So even like opening up Safari, you guys saw that, it just kind of pops out of nowhere. There's not really an animation unless you minimize it, and then you see an animation. But honestly, it's still not that apparent. So that's the one thing, you know, the 120 hertz is going to be great for scrolling, but it's not just something that's immediately noticeable. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just letting you guys know, if you're going to buy it because it has 120 hertz, don't think too much into it. It's a good thing to have, but it's not a selling feature on its own. So the notch, you guys might be able to see this. I'm going to pull it up closer to you guys. You guys can see the top bar is bigger than the notch itself. I thought the entire idea was to have that notch be the same size as that. And the annoying thing is that they've actually increased the size of this as well. When you compare it to older MacBooks, it's a very thin taskbar up at the top, but this is definitely bigger. And the annoying thing is that it could be a little bit smaller, just because it doesn't have to come below the notch, but it comes just like a very tiny amount, and it's noticeable. So that's a little bit annoying. I wish that wasn't the case. It just would have been better if it wasn't. Moving on, the speakers. The speakers on this are incredible. They get as loud and as powerful as my 15-inch from 2018. And for a computer of this size to get, with speakers, it's all about size. You want larger speakers, are just going to sound more full, more expansive, and with a computer of this size, I'm just completely baffled at how they managed to do that. Sound quality is incredible. It gets super loud, and it's a great computer. The keyboard's also a massive upgrade for me, because the keyboard otherwise was just something I didn't really have to worry about too much. But let me go ahead and just show you guys, you know, hello, this is a typing test. So that's how. So I'm going to shut up and let you guys just listen to what it sounds like when I hit the keys. I'm just going to type out a couple sentences so you guys can hear. All right, so that was the keys. They sound pretty good. It's not bad at all. And when I look at the MacBook in general, it's definitely got a way more squared off design. It's not as curvy, I want to say, almost. It definitely has a very almost industrial vibe to it. It doesn't look, honestly, I'll be very frank, I think that the previous generation MacBook looked good. The MacBook Pros, I think design-wise, they were fantastic. However, this isn't a bad design. It's just not exactly, I think, as modern as the older previous generation. The outgoing one, I think, just looked better. Other than that, everything about this is just awesome. So I'm going to have to wrap it up here, guys, because there's not a lot more I can talk about without testing this computer even more. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish this video up, and I'm going to jump right over and start editing this video on this computer itself to see what it performs like. All right, guys, so I have been using this MacBook Pro since last night. I didn't get around to making a video because I was just setting everything up, and setting them up took a lot longer than I thought it would, but I am so impressed with it, and just it has been really, really nice to edit with, and so far I am loving it. And this is still running on the first charge I got it with, so I have not charged it up at all since I got the computer. And this includes the setup I did, a software updated, everything. So battery life has just been amazing so far. So I'm going to give it back to my past self, but this computer is looking really good so far. And then I'll make a full review on this a couple days down the road and tell you guys exactly what I'm feeling and, you know, just what it is, what life is like with a base level MacBook Pro. And do you really need to, you know, jump up to a more powerful model, or is this good enough for a workflow like mine? We'll get all into that in the next video about this computer. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you want to check out this computer, I'll have it linked down in the description below, including all the other gear I use to film and make my content. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me on social media. I'll have all the content about, all the handles right here on the screen, and of course linked down in the description as well. Go check me out over there, and be sure to subscribe for more MacBook Pro content. A lot more coming at you guys, and I'm very excited to test this one out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.